Hi, fifth graders. It's Miss Rayborn here. We are going to do something that's just a little bit fun this week. We've been working really hard on learning about perspective, and you had a chance to turn in either your name perspective drawing or your 1 point perspective drawing. You also have an assignment this week where you can share what you learned about 1 point perspective. But for our drawing, we're just going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to talk and look at some examples of something called op art or optical illusion art. So, op art sort of began late 50s, 1960s. So it's more than 50 years old if you're kind of trying to think about that in your head. And what I want you to look at is how the artist used contrast, which means light against dark, to create an illusion for the eye. For example, here in this artwork called Moving Squares by Bridget Riley, what's happening is that these are squares, 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 and then slightly they start to turn into rectangles. Look, right about here, you start to notice, oh my gosh, these are actually rectangles, rectangles, rectangles. And they get skinnier and skinnier and skinnier and skinnier as they go towards the sort of dipping point, which causes your eye to think that the paper is bent or that there is a convex line happening there. It tricks your eye into thinking that that piece of paper is folded down when actually it's just the shape that is changing, which causes it tricks your eye. There's a lot of contrast here, which we'll notice as we look at another example. This example called Vega by Victor Vassalari, I always say his name wrong, but I tried, is from 1974, so about 15 years later. And what I love about this is it almost looks like somebody has sort of just punched out the paper. Here again, we have a strong contrast of pattern. And it's the manipulation of the pattern and the size and the change. These circles are represented in the outside corners, and they sort of trick your eye into thinking this is what all of these circles look like, right? Because they're lined up and they establish a firm pattern. Then all they have to do is modify and change the shape of those patterns and the size of them to give the illusion that this sphere is sort of pushing out into space, even though it's a flat surface, which is really neat. Let's look at another. This one is called POV 281A. And it's by an artist named Tony. He only goes by Tony. I couldn't find a date for this, but I know that he started creating artwork after the 2000s. So this is probably the most contemporary piece of artwork that we're looking at, meaning this artist is still making artwork right now today. What I love about this is look how these lines are sort of going in, and at some point right about here, this line stops, which gives us the illusion, again, it's not really what's happening, but that this is almost like a really crazy hallway you could walk down, and then it bends and goes around to the corner. They've created an illusion of depth of space by using value and color to create contrast, which tricks your eye. So when you're working today with Miss Deb, she is going to show you how you can draw and shade to create optical illusions, how you can give the feeling of this bumping out and the feeling of this curving down. This almost makes us feel like it's sort of going like this, doesn't it, with the way that we look at it. So you have a chance to do just a really fun op art drawing with Miss Deb. I thought we deserved something that was just a cool drawing exercise because we've been working really hard. So please make sure that you don't forget to share something you've learned about drawing in 1 point perspective at the bottom. That's your assignment for this week. And enjoy the op art drawing with Miss Deb. Bye for now.